All right, I'm Jean Watson, and I'm founder and director of the Watson Caring Science Institute in Boulder, Colorado. And I'm also Distinguished Professor and Dean Emeriti of the University of Colorado College of Nursing in Denver, Colorado, USA. The essence of my theory takes place in the caring moment. So how a human being, and how a nurse in this instance, has a certain consciousness, intentionality, compassionate presence, and their energetic awareness of how they connect with that person, that caring moment can either be destructive for that person or it can be life-giving, it can be biogenic. So the caring moment is where caring takes place with another human being. All we have are moments in our lives. But what happens in that moment lasts for that patient. So after the nurse leaves, that caring moment transcends time and space and physicality. Or the non-caring moment lingers. And there's evidence that shows that if you have non-caring moments from patients, at least in the United States, there's an increase in litigation against that practitioner and against the system, even if they've done nothing wrong, because people are so frustrated and so dispirited when they have a non-caring experience from someone who dismisses them as a person, because every single human being needs to be heard, and needs to be seen, and needs to know that what they have to say matters to other people. And so we have to be listening to them. So that consciousness of how we live out that caring moment is the essence of nursing's caring theory. The language and the structure of the theory has to do with what I've called the 10 Caritas processes. And those 10 Caritas processes are the universalities of what nurses are actually doing when they're practicing caring. And those 10 Caritas processes, I don't know if I have time to go through them, but they're the core and the language. And it's very important that you have language of the phenomena, because if nurses don't have the language to describe what they're doing when they're caring, it's dismissed. Oh, that's just what nurses are doing. So nobody pays attention to it. They only pay attention to what medical science is doing, not what nursing is doing, until and unless we have the language of the universal phenomena of caring, and we start documenting caring. We look at research and we look at outcomes. So 10 of those 5 Caritas processes, 5 of the 10, we're researching right now in multiple hospitals across the United States, and in actually some other parts of the world are using the same instrument. And we're asking questions of the patient. Was your care delivered with loving kindness? Did you have a trusting relationship with your practitioner? Were your basic needs met with dignity? Did you experience a healing environment? And were your values and beliefs honored? Those are representative of the core of caring that comes from the 10 Caritas processes. Of these 5 right now, it's still preliminary data, but 2 that emerged in the beginning from evidence from the patients of the authenticity of human caring was 1, they experienced a loving kindness from the nurse, and they had a trusting relationship with their practitioner. They're all important, but those 2 came to the top in the beginning of the data. We're still looking at other, it's an ongoing project. So that's a kind of a synopsis of the focus of this work. And it's right now, most of the databases that hospitals are using in the United States are problem-oriented. You just have to look at problems. This is one of the unique approaches to gathering data on the human caring experience, because how the patient experiences their caring is affecting their outcomes. It's not just what you're doing, it's how they're experiencing it. So by getting these 5 items of the experience from the patient's worldview of what's important for their caring and their healing becomes very important in terms of looking at outcomes, whether it's safety, whether it's wound care, whether it's length of stay, whether it's patients returning to the hospital. These are all critical variables in terms of hospital indicators and cost and other models of concern that hospitals and healthcare has to deal with.